explore your treatment options and get your life back.
And get started now. Visit GoBarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
I asked Andy Reid today, and he said there's been no progress in discussions to resolve the contract impasse with Chris Jones. The Chiefs are preparing, as they should, to be without him on Thursday, meaning they could be without two of their top three players when they open defense of their Super Bowl title.
Kels hyperextended his knee today, so we'll just see how he does going forward. They're looking at it now, so I just see how it goes.
It's just a strange phenomenon. Travis Kelce's been there. He's been a constant for every season of his NFL career since his rookie year. He had a knee issue, kept him out all season, but other than that, he's been there.
Know that they're going to be a physical football team. You've heard us talk about wanting to be more physical as a football team, and we've developed that all through all spring, all fall camp, all summer, and this will be the game that's going to test it.
The fact that you don't know which way the run could go for starters, and they both can run, they both can block really well. They're both good receivers out of the backfield. There's some things that we are going to clean up with both those guys.
The pitch in the dirt, that was almost a wild pitch to win it. They called a balk, and a balk has been called. And the Royals win it on a balk.
I'm not sure the walk-off balk has happened twice in a year, let alone to the same team. So it's something we practice a lot. The pitch clock, I think, probably has something to do with it. I think it was running down there, so he probably felt a little bit of discomfort starting off with the ball, and I think he just tried to go too quick. So no way to describe that one.
I don't need a catchphrase from you.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me you were doing high knees on the plane. I don't need the workout videos. All I need for you to do is go out there and be the quarterback that you once were.
That's all we want. Hash, for you to be the man you once were.
I'd like to see those high knees on an airplane.
And with that new haircut, he might be ready to. Looking sharp over there.
Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in. It is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's hump day with the pre-hump. So, yeah, it's been like Tuesday all day for me anyway. Welcome into the program. Steve Webster with you, Aaron Clark, Mike Corson, and Mike Hesher. Again with the new haircut. Man, you look sharp. Man, you've come into the old man world of haircuts.
I've been
you just trim it and it.
It's kind of scary because some people call me Genie, and I had two people rub my hair this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Which Lindsay was one of them. I had no problem with you, dude. I'm like, okay, don't be touching me, Webby. Come on, don't be rubbing my hair.
You look like a little porcupine.
It's going to be extra prickly now.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh, I can be prickly, yes.
Okay, we have a good program for you today. We're going to talk lacrosse leopard football. And I say this is no relation. I don't want to put John in any situations. You're related to him. No, it's John Webster, head coach of lacrosse leopards. They play Victoria on Friday night. Voice of the Tigers, Gerard Welbrock. They play tomorrow night, after they played last Thursday night. Mike Corson goes on the Proud Grape-In volleyball coach Shelley Duvall and
Sadie Spray coming in.
Okay, Sadie Spray. They pick up a couple wins last night. They haven't lost a set this year. So 4-0 and 8-0. Off to a good start. So we'll talk some Panther volleyball today, Wednesday sports headlines, and, of course, the sounds the past 24 hours or so. I thought Ed Werder was just outside the Cowboys complex all the time.
So the one guy scared him off.
Well, Ed Werder reporting from outside Chiefs headquarters. No movement on negotiations with Chris Jones. Oh, what negotiations? Isn't he under contract? Oh, not. Yeah, he is. Okay, so we're negotiating with him because he's yeah.
If you were one of the other defensive players on that squad, wouldn't you be a little angry now that 3 weeks of headlines have gone to one guy who's done nothing?
It's better than talking about how the Chiefs defense played without him.
Well, has he been able to stop the run? Have the Chiefs been a team that has slowed the run down over the past few seasons?
And that's the thing. The Chiefs haven't been a good defense with a player who has been pretty dominant in there for him. So you think
say dominant?
Out of that.
You're talking about pass rush now,
yes.
Right? Okay, I'm talking about run defense.
I still think he's a pretty serviceable run defender. I don't think he's
serviceable. Okay, but that's under contract for this year and wants $30 million. Okay. Andy Reid talking about the latest news yesterday. Oh, the Travis Kelce hyperextended a knee in practice yesterday. So, is he going to play tomorrow? Adam Teicher says it may be a little odd without Kelce in the lineup. You talk about a guy that's been versatile. I think the last time he missed a game, what was it, 2021? Right around. It was because of COVID, and he didn't even have any, but he had COVID, so he didn't get to play. Let's see. Mahomes was, 20 or 23 in that game for 5 touchdowns? And they found some other guys. Byron Pringle was the leading receiver in that game for the Chiefs when they beat the Steelers. Is he going to play tomorrow night? I think he might be out there.
I wouldn't be too worried about Mahomes without him. We've seen him be able to be able to lose a big piece when he lost Tyreek Hill and then come out and have an MVP season. I think losing Kelce will be a little strange for him, but I also saw in the last 5 openers, I guess all of the week ones that Mahomes has started, the least he's thrown for is like 3 touchdowns and 300 yards, which if he can even just get that out tomorrow, should be off to a pretty good start for the Chiefs.
I'm also game time decision, hyperextension of my knee kicking my DirecTV box. If you follow the saga, we haven't had NBC for 2 months now. And, of course, the first game of the season is going to be the Chiefs on NBC. So word is once the NFL gets going and they have those, Thursday night games, there's going to be a lot of pressure. You might get your NBC back, but for week 1, get you a Peacock subscription.
Done.
I've got mine.
I do have mine as well.
Over the air, gentlemen, the old-fashioned way.
Well, okay. That is true. It's the Lions coming in here. They're going to be jacked up. I mean, they've when you're bad that long, you get good draft picks. Now the key is you want to, do something with those draft picks. So, yeah, it's one of those dangerous games. And going back to Kelce, I would not want to play 2 games in a row without him. I think he's more impactful to the Chiefs' offense than Tyreek Hill was. But I think he could probably go tomorrow night. If they determine that there's no more serious damage can be done and he can take the pain of a bone bruise. Of course, there's ways you can get around that. It's called like his little needle in there, and it just, makes it feel all happy.
I know a referee who had to get a needle in the knee before the start of the season, and if he can do it, Travis Kelce can do it.
Took 4.5 seconds off that guy's 40 time.
There you go. He's moving down the field.
10-5, 6-5. So the Chiefs, man, open the season tomorrow, and with some concerns right now, are we going to give our picks or what? Are we going to wait till tomorrow because we don't have Coles, and I know, and Mizunis likes to throw it in there.
I thought we were waiting until tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
So we need to get it out. We need to get the word out.
You need to tell Cole when you see him down there in the subterranean portions of this building.
I'll put the torch down so we can see what we're writing.
Okay. So my quick question on Kelce being injured, with the Chiefs keeping 7 receivers, will that make a difference? I mean, I know they're not tight ends, but could they utilize one in his area?
Especially someone like Justin Ross. He's a big-bodied wide receiver. Maybe he won't be able to be an in-line usage like Kelce will, but I think it wouldn't be surprising to see Noah Gray kind of get more of the traditional tight end looks, and then someone like Justin Ross step into the wide receiver role that Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but who's going to fill the short yardage role? I mean, for the Chiefs, it's 2nd and 1. It's going to be everybody but his quarterback sneak. So you got to be able to come up there and take the short snap or whatever goofy things he'll do if they get into
Put him in motion with a shovel pass. You're not going to trust Noah Gray to catch a shovel pass behind the left guard and dive across the line.
Kansas takes on Illinois on Friday night. Offensive coordinator, Andy, you rolled that off good this morning. Andy Kotelnicki says it's going to be a big test for his Jayhawks.
Illinois plays with a very physical style. They lost a couple people in the secondary to the draft, the main one being Sidney Brown. He was the 3rd-round pick to the Eagles. But the return, a lot of guys up front, and should be a good look to see. Obviously, Missouri State, it's an FCS school. It's a fine. KU beat them 48-17, but get their first look at another Power 5 school, Illinois coming from the Big Ten. excited to see what KU can do. Also excited to see if Jalen Daniels is going to get the start there.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing, and it's one of those games that if KU wants to take another step this year, this is a game they need to get for sure. Kansas State, they take on Troy, a team that the top of the Sun Belt. They're not bad.
I was going to say, it's another one where
I think they're better than Tulane.
Hesher and I were like, Troy who? Just the school, Troy.
It's just used to be Troy State, correct? They dropped the state.
It's the University of Troy now. I don't know.
I don't remember
The
being
Fighting
Troy State.
Troy. It's not just some rum-dum coming in.
No, it is a legitimate team. That's what I was going to bring up. It's another one that, like you kind of said, could be easily overlooked, but they are at the top of their conference for a reason.
Well, didn't Texas State and Sun Belt?
What's Tulane?
They beat Baylor last week. And
Oh man,
Okay.
David Ronda on the hot seat.
Did Tulane beat him last year? Wasn't
Yes.
that ended up being a really significant game down the stretch?
And Tulane ended up very good last year too.
So,
They
yeah,
ended up.
They were
Can't
talking
overlook
at the end of the
them
year they
anymore.
wanted to get one of those playoff spots. Yeah, yeah, it didn't happen. Okay, so K-State plays. That's an 11 o'clock kick on FS1. They get the big boy channel coming up on, and KU, let's see, I think they're on ESPN2.
Wow.
Yeah, on Friday night. And remember, Jayhawks play on KVGB. The Larned Indians will be on Hits 106.9. Okay, the Royals just keep on rolling. Another balk-off. Michael Garcia scoring off a walk-off balk-off. They beat the White Sox 7-6. That was a good game just from the standpoint. The Royals were down 6-0, and they left Brady Singer out there. You know, they said, well, he's not having a good day. We're going to take him out. No, they kept, and then he kind of settled down, kept him in the game a little bit. Royals come back and get a win. Michael Massey talking about trying to describe the second walk-off balk of the season. They'd never had one before in franchise history.
They got 42 wins.
44, I believe it is.
So it's about 4% of their wins this season are balk-offs. So it's easy to laugh at that, but what's causing them? I like to think it's some motion on the bases. Remember this next year.
It was a pitch clock last night.
It seemed like there was some.
Gregory Santos, who, by the way, is an Iuka Hustler relief pitcher, which was fine because he balked in the run, so it was an unearned run. So even though his whip was 4.50, Garcia didn't get in the box. He didn't have his helmet on because they walked the batter before him as an intentional. So, yeah, you point him to first base, and, okay, clock starts going. Well, Santos gets there. It was like 2 seconds on the pitch clock, and he just had to try to quick pitch when he didn't come set, so it was a pitch clock victory. I don't think that's what they envisioned. I like the pitch clock, but shouldn't they have just, okay, intentional walk, or the umpire sees what's going on? Because Garcia didn't get into the box very early either. So anyway, back to your point.
But you know,
want to make
the Royals, that we gotta take the wins where they can get them.
I was going to say they got 44 wins. We'll take anything at this point as we go for 57.
You know, I've never seen. Look at that. Yeah, I thought you were Mr. Doom. I mean, he picked 56 wins for him, and he may nail it right on the nose.
It's
Aaron Clark.
We're hoping 13-9. If they go 13-9, they get to 57 and 105. They avoid making infamous history in Royals history as the worst Royals team. So if they can finish one above my record, I'll be happy too.
Okay, I like when these when you guys kind of perks up, you know, when you hear it.
I don't need a catchphrase from you.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me you were doing high knees on the plane.
I just need you to take the trash out. That was my that's Michelle Smallman, co-host of Unsportsmanlike, the latest thing they've rolled out on ESPN to try to replace Mike and Mike. Doesn't need all the fluff from Russell Wilson. The Broncos host the Raiders on Sunday.
Kind of sounds like she's reading right out of Sean Payton's diary, doesn't it? Like what he's been telling Russell. Like, we don't need any of the extra fluff. We just need you to play quarterback for us. We
Exactly.
Don't need,
Go out there and
win some
be
games.
the player you used to be.
Make people want to eat what Russ is cooking, not that it'll give them an upset stomach just smelling it. You know
What is going through your diabolical mind right now, Mike Corson?
It reminded me of Dwight Yoakam in the movie Sling Blade. If you've seen that, you'll know that there's some things that he didn't need either. And there's some people that will understand that reference, but Definitely can't say it on air.
Not in my universe, but
So I was trying to get it out of my head, but you caught me.
okay, all right. I just saw
I could tell he was brewing something over there
yeah.
too.
Okay, there's your sounds the past 24 hours or so. Sports news of the day: Great Bend volleyball rolls again. Shelley Duvall will be in, taking down Dodge City 25-22 and 25-10. Then they beat Guyman, Oklahoma 25-18 and 25-11. They're 4-0 on the season. Tennis yesterday, Mike Corson, down at the Shannon Sharts courts.
Yeah, go figure. Had tennis, so there had to be some wind. Larned was in town, took first as a team, but it was really close between Larned and Great Bend. So Abby Holt goes 4-1 or 4-0 for Larned at number one singles, and Kaylin Wallmeyer was right behind her. Number one doubles for Great Bend, Sam Mayers and Taylor Lashley tied with Hayes. And so one of the teams had only one win on the day, beats Hayes, forces a tie break, but Hayes took it. You can find the rest of the results on Great Bend Post.
Excellent work. Okay, K-Preps. New rankings are out. Class 5A. Here's your top 5. Mill Valley. Is it Mill Valley and everybody else? That's what it sounds like they're saying right now.
I was reading this morning, and it seems like Mill Valley might not actually be as undefeatable as they've seemed in the past years. Obviously, going to be a bit of a gap to breach, but who knows? It's early in the season. Maybe someone in 5. I think they're coming off of this four straight wins, so it is a bit of a powerhouse there, but hopefully someone can dethrone him.
Capen's going to be bothersome with the Elias kid in the backfield and probably a few other recruits, but yeah.
Capen's 2, Blue Valley Southwest 3, Hayes is 4, Mays is 5.
I don't think the Hayes one will last. Mays put a big...
Not
after this Friday night.
Yeah. I was wondering when you're going to jump in there. Okay.
Yeah, it's hinged on one player, basically. It's a strange ranking.
Great Bend is is in the others considered. Hoisington number 3 in 2A. There's a lot of balance and good teams on the West, but 4 of the top 5 in the K-Preps poll are from the East. Nemaw Central, defending champs, number 1, Sabetha 2, Hoiston 3, Silver Lake 4, Rossville 5, Ellsworth and Russell, along with TMP, getting some consideration. 8-man 2, Victoria. We'll talk about tonight's coming up with just John Webster in just a moment. They dropped to 5. Kinsley, the Fighting Coyotes, move up to number 4. I cannot remember the last time Kinsley was ranked in the 8-man football poll.
No, I used to write Central Prairie League write-ups, and Kinsley was always kind of the bottom, so good for them.
Yeah.
Saw that with Canton Galva, too. Now they're a powerhouse. For years, they were terrible. So it's fun. That's why we like high school sports, is those swings.
Central Plains coming off a 56-12 win. They're getting some love, and the others considered. Hodgman County 1-0. Sylvan Lucas, they're 1-0. And a new 6-man number 1 ranked team.
Not Cunningham.
Ashland.
All right. The Blue Jays.
That's a pretty good rivalry they've had going. They've played 3 times. Cunningham's won 2. And then Ashland got the one this year to start the season. Cunningham still has scoreboard. They won the state last year. So there you go. Sounds of the past 24 hours and headlines, sports headlines. Oh, there's one other one. 'Cause I know you're a big basketball fan. U.S. beat Italy 100-63 in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. They will take on Germany next. Okay, on the way, lacrosse football coach John Webster, voice of the Tigers, Gerard Welbrock, and Mike Corson going on the prowl. Mike Corson goes on the prowl with Great Bend Panther volleyball coach Shelley Duvall. Sports Day here on KVGB.
Barton Community College is excited to announce the expansion of the welding program with an Associate of Applied Science degree and a 2-semester certificate. With our expanded offerings, you'll gain knowledge in welding techniques, safety procedures, blueprint reading, and more. Get hands-on training from Barton faculty with industry experience, ensuring you develop the skills needed to excel in your career. Now enrolling. Learn more at welding.bartoncccc.edu.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Every 40 seconds a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-455-0130. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-455-0130. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-455-0130. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
What day is it? It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Brought to you by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Yes, indeed. Also brought to you in part by Equity Bank. Here when you need us. Bank local. Save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. We've been doing this since 2011, Sports Day, and one of the first people that had the courage to come on this show is back with us, John Webster, head coach of the La Crosse Leopards. Hello again, sir.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
It is going great. It's high school football season, and it's already going, and you started last week and opened with a victory over Otis Bison. It's always tricky, those first games. I guess your thought, you pitched a shutout in the opening game of the season, and you pick it up over the War on 4 with Otis Bison. Thoughts on the win, Coach?
I thought you mentioned our defense. We only gave up 70 yards, I believe, if I remember correctly. So we played very well defensively. They really couldn't get their run game going. And after a couple corrections on some coverage stuff, we really did a good job of limiting them in the passing phase too. So that was a good thing to see. We played fast. As the game went on, our kids started to get a little more physical. Caden Morgan kind of got the hitting going on in the second quarter, and then we had more and more kids kind of chase that big hit. And Gage Burke had a big hit on the quarterback right before halftime that I think kind of had him hearing some footsteps when guys were close. So the defense really carried us to win. Offense, we looked good at times. We had some drops. We had a bunch of holding penalties and false starts. I think we scored 3 times on one 2-point conversion, and we came away with no points because of penalties. So, those self-inflicted wounds we need to clean up and definitely play a crisper game this week in order to have a shot to be successful.
The 8-man game, of course, it is more wide open. But man, talk about how dynamic Caden can be and Gage Burke.
Yeah, they've got a special connection. They've played with each other since 4th grade Cats football, so they really know where each other. Caden knows where Gage is going to be. Caden knows where Gage likes the football. Gage knows where the ball's coming at. Like, they just have a connection from playing for years. Gage has the athleticism to make a big play at any opportunity. He's got speed. He can jump out of the gym. He's a strong kid for no bigger than he is. So he's a kid who can go the distance for us at any time. And then Caden, he's so smart as an athlete, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever he's playing. He knows where to put his body in the right position. He knows the right arm angle to throw the football at so that only his guy has a chance to make a play on it. He threw a ball to Connor Berger, kind of rolling out to his right, falling out of bounds. Threw it back across his body. One of those plays as a coach, you're thinking, don't do that. And the DB overran it like half a yard, and it hit Connor on the back shoulder, and Connor caught it and walked into the end zone. So Caden is one of those guys that has some of that natural ability that you don't coach in. You just kind of refine it and let it play on the field and let it do what it does best. So those kids are a couple special athletes we have.
looks like you have some decent numbers out this year. Talk about this team coming into this year, maybe the thoughts you had about them over the summer as you looked forward to this season, and then what you saw in Game 1.
Yeah, we got 24 out. We got 4 seniors. That's one of our smaller classes. We got our juniors, not a very big class, but we got a lot of freshmen and sophomores out. And the freshmen and sophomores really impressed me. Buying into the weight room this summer, this whole off season really, they made big gains, and that's, I think, the most exciting thing to see is our young kids coming around, being ready to contribute, maybe a little earlier than you'd expect. John Dornbos, who played a really good game for us last Friday, sophomore who played a little bit last year, he didn't miss a day of weights, and it shows. He got bigger, he got stronger, got faster. He got more confident, and so he came out and played fast. So he's a kid we're counting on from the younger group. But overall, our young kids are lifting the way we expect them. They really bought into the culture and following the older kids' lead, when it comes to how we practice, how we condition, watching film outside of practice, and, all those little things that can be the difference in a football game. Being mentally prepared, they're doing all that little stuff the right way, and so I think we'll continue to see the fruits of that as the season goes on, and we will be able to make some big gains as the season progresses.
John Webster, head coach of the La Crosse Leopards, with us here on Sports Day. John, you've mentioned before, just in passing, the Leopard way. What is that?
It's doing little things right, taking great pride and being a La Crosse Leopard, that it's not something that comes lightly. There's a lot of expectations on being leaders in the classroom, doing the right thing when nobody's looking, picking up trash in the locker room or the school, making sure you're representing yourselves and the school in a positive era or a positive manner. Just doing the difficult things that a lot of kids struggle nowadays, because it's not flashy and it doesn't get a lot of attention, but just plugging away at it, doing those little things with a lot of pride and a lot of intensity. And that is a lot of times why I feel that we can play against teams that have better athletes than us or a little bit bigger than us, is because our kids take great pride in being Leopards. And it shows on Friday nights that, they don't want to be the group that lets the tradition down. The older kids, the alumni that have gone through, or the younger kids who are looking up to them on from the sideline. So it kind of feeds itself, and it's just, I don't know how to put it into words. It's one of those things that the kids believe in. The coaches, we preach it every day. And so we see kids not only be good football players, but great leaders in the classroom, good to the younger kids, helping out in the community and those things. And it's just something that we think it's important for us to carry ourselves like Leopards. And I can't put that in a good word. I'm kind of rambling here trying to describe it. And it's something that comes with the program. And it was started a long time ago by Coach Keeley and Coach Cornelson, and then I've just been blessed to have kids that keep embracing it over the last several years.
Okay, Friday night, Victoria, and Connor Nickel on this show last Friday said, watch out for Kinsley. I don't remember, and I know Kinsley, they've been close, and I saw them play last year. They were better, and he said, we'll keep an eye on them. He didn't, I don't think, predict an upset, but he said, that game's going to be closer than a lot of people think. Well, they ended up getting the victory. Now, Kinsley is ranked 4 this week in the K-Prep poll. Victoria drops to 5, and I'd heard a lot of good things about Victoria in the preseason. So they're 0-1 now. It's probably just a rollover game now, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a rollover in Victoria or two words that ever go together. Coach Oberle does an amazing job getting his kids ready to play. They're not running fancy offenses. They're running, a lot of veer schemes and option football, and they make you wrong even when you think you're right. They're led by a really talented quarterback. Their game with Kinsley was kind of crazy. They block a punt, and Kinsley picks it up and runs 30 yards to keep possession. They're going in to score at the end of the game and fumble out of the back end of the end zone and missed a chance to tie it up. And Kinsley is a team that I think with the senior class they have, those kids have been, they were a tough group of sophomores the last time we played them. And last year, I think maybe they let expectations get to them a little bit because I don't think they had quite the year they were expecting last year. But, they're a good group. Coach Dunlap down at Kinsley does a tremendous job with his kids in the weight room. They're competitors, and watch them. They really hit Victoria last week. They had offensive lineman number 11, I'm not sure what his name is, who had some big blocks springing people, and they had a running back number 5 that just came out of the backfield and would take your head off if you weren't paying attention. So I think the Kinsley kids are excited. I think the Victoria kids are going to be a little angry about the way week 1 went out, and we're going to have our hands full this week getting ready to, playing on Friday night to take a team that wants to win and just a team that's good. They don't make mistakes. Victoria never makes mistakes. They just have hard-nosed kids. They line up in their 3-2 defense, and they're going to blitz a little bit and try to create confusion, and then they got quality depth just across the board. So we're excited for the opportunity to get to play them. It's always good to play a good program to see where you're at as a football team.
Okay, this is a weird question because normally you don't talk about this when you're talking about preparing for a team. I have never seen a team like Victoria that has more. I've seen so many touchdowns that they will steal the ball from your running back.
Yeah.
Is that in the game plan tomorrow? Just make sure you hang on to that thing.
Well, they blitz so effectively. Their linebackers usually come. They have a knack of timing up the snap, and they're just tough kids who don't get blocked easy. And I think sometimes that the linemen, if their head's down, the blitz is by them, and then the fullback, quarterback, tailback, whatever it is, may get a little spooked, and everybody's like, "Who's supposed to have the ball?" And it's just out there, and then good things happen for Victoria. So we need to make sure that our guards and center do a good job of keeping their heads up and seeing those linebackers coming. They play so tight to the ball; they're almost like a true defensive lineman, and taking good steps to make sure that we cut off the blitzes and just prepared for it, because those linebackers are aggressive and it can make a lot of things go right in their way, but sometimes they can guess wrong and set up a big play for us. So hopefully they guess wrong more than right on Friday night.
Feelings going into this one, John?
It's hard to tell after week 1. There's not a lot of tendencies that you get from film. With just one game. I think our kids are excited to get out there. We had a great day of practice yesterday. Last year we were toe to toe with them, and then we had about 5 dudes get hurt, and we're throwing freshmen in, and all of a sudden we go from being down the score with like 3 minutes left in the half to getting 45 because we turned the ball over and they picked it up and ran it back. I think we had a punt block last year. They scored a touchdown, so we had a ball game going until like the last few minutes of the first half, and then it was like a tornado just got dropped on us. So I think our kids are remembering the positive things we did early last year, and I think they believe that they've got a chance to play a really good Victoria team and have a chance to come out on the positive side of the scoreboard.
Coach, always a pleasure, and good luck on Friday night against Victoria, and we'll talk to you again later this season.
I appreciate it, Steve. Thank you.
You bet. John Webster, head coach of the La Crosse Leopards, with us here on Sports Day. We'll stay up north. We'll go to Hayes, voice of the Tigers. Gerard Welbrock joins us right after this.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Amy Herrera, Regional Retail Manager for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many people navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how we're committed to serving you in our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Wright, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
He's been the voice of the Tigers for over 20 years, much longer than Wyatt Thompson, Steve Webster, and the legendary Bob Davis. And he's not even that old yet. Here's Gerard Wellbrock.
Indeed, Gurr with us here on the program. Our show brought to you in part by Venture Corporation, reminding you to help a neighbor and shop local when you can. And the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, your certified Cenex lubricant dealer in Great Bend. Fort Hays off to a 1-0 start following a 56-0 win in Tahlequah last Thursday night against Northeastern State. They are at home tomorrow for the season opener, and it's Pittsburgh State. John, I don't know if you remember this, but it was Pittsburgh State week, and Todd Nelson and myself just sang the McGilla Gorilla song all week.
I remember.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, okay.
I remember. That was a good week.
It was. It was a good week.
McGilla Gorilla for sale.
How much is that monkey in the window? Okay. You survived Tahlequah, Oklahoma, and man, pretty easy night for the Tigers, who roll 56-0. Tell me about it.
You know, played well. We did take Highway 10 in. That was kind of by accident, but it was well worth it. You know, when you're traveling and visiting and you realize, I think we missed our turn. But anyway, we had plenty of time. So it was a nice trip. And, you know, the Tigers did play well. And, I mean, Northeastern State's not going to contend for the conference title, but I thought Fort Hays State did what they had to do. They dominated the game. They played well in winning. And so that, you know, the competition wasn't as good as it's going to be tomorrow night, but they did what they had to do, and I thought they looked good. I thought they had great play from a lot of different people. So that's exciting, and they're going to have to play much, much better tomorrow night, but it's obviously a lot better than losing. And the same Northeastern team, they really struggled to beat last year, so I think that's a good sign.
Well, as we talked last week, Fort Hays with a new starting quarterback for the first time in a decade, and Jack Dawson, 20 of 23, 317, and 5 TDs. Nice start.
Yeah, played well. He made the coaching staff look pretty smart in their decision to go with him. And I think you saw the experience from last year really pay off. He had the whole off season. He had the spring. He had the fall camp to earn the position. I think he played well. He made good passes. I mean, he was on point most of the night. And it was fun to see. He distributed to a lot of different players. That's always exciting. He didn't just hone in on one guy. And he ran a little bit. He can run just enough. And it was just good to see the maturity and just him getting a little bit better, more experience, and just all those things that go into it. And it's kind of the same thing. He was Chance Fuller's backup in high school, Lamar High School in Arlington, Texas, and took over when Chance graduated. Now here he is doing it at Fort Hays State, so that's kind of a cool story. But that was good to see. He played well, and then Caleb Heavner, the redshirt freshman, got in late and looked really good, threw a touchdown pass. So it was just a good night all around for the quarterbacks.
And our local guys both got picks, Miles Menges and Mason Perez.
I tell you what, and, you know, it's one play, and it's early in the year, but Fort Hays State's first possession, they were 3 and out, and we're in the booth asking the offensive line to maybe touch somebody because, I mean, it was nothing. They were going nowhere, and they had to go 3 and out and punt, and they had 2 penalties on a 3rd and long, which gave Northeastern a first down. And then his eyes, Gavin Hazelhorst deflected a pass, and I still don't know how Miles Men just plucked that before it hit the turf and intercepted it. And that turned and they went in and scored, and then it was, Fort Hays State was just dominant the rest of the way. So that one play kind of sparked everybody, I think relaxed everybody. And I went back and watched film. I'm not 100% sure that Perez had his foot in bounds. It was close, and there was an official right there, and they went to review and didn't reverse it. It was a remarkable play. They didn't pick it off, and he got a scoop and score after a block punt. So we talked about Mason. We think he's got a chance to have a great year, and he got off to a really good start, played well. And to me, the biggest takeaway is the 5 takeaways. Because last year, Fort Hays State had 13 all year, their lowest in 17 seasons. They had 5 in week 1, and that's something they just struggled to do last year. And as you know, if you want to have a great season, you gotta win the turnover battle. And when Fort Hays State's been good, they've been near the top of the conference, and they got off to a great start in that regard last Thursday night.
Pittsburg State, the Gorillas, in town tomorrow night. Tell me about the team from the Southeast.
They're good. I mean, they were undefeated last year in the regular season, won the MIAA. Picked to win it. They won 13 straight conference games, and they lost some key players, but they got a lot back. They got their quarterback back. They're going to run the ball. They'll play 4 tight ends and just keep rotating them. They'll do 3 running backs and just keep rotating them. But to me, it's their line. Their O-line is really good. Fort Hays State's D-line is going to get a test. They're going to have to play well there. A year ago, Fort Hays was in the game. It was 14-7 at halftime. It just slowly got away from them in the second half. I think the Tigers are confident that they play well. They're going to be in this thing. And to me, it's just give yourself a chance. Can't turn it over. All those things you have to do against good teams. But if they do that, I think they've got a great chance to be in the game in the fourth quarter. And then if you're in the game in the fourth quarter, it's a night game at Lewis Field. Who knows? Anything can happen. So I'm excited just to see where Fort Hays State is. And to me, it's not even winning or losing. It's how they played. If they can compete for 4 quarters and be in it, and it's a good, tight game, I'm going to be excited about this season.
Nothing better than that opening Thursday night at Lewis Field Stadium. I love the Thursday night start.
Yeah, it's electric. The students are out in full force, and it's a tough environment. It's a tough place to play. There's you've seen it. Sometimes just some crazy special things can happen. That would be really good to see if it does tomorrow night. Tigers going to need all of that magic in this one. But, it is. There's nothing better, and it should be a great crowd. It should be a fun atmosphere.
And then how about that for your first 2 home games? Pitt State, and then you got Northwest Missouri rolling in next week.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Doug Boucher, the strength coach. It's like to find out a little bit about what you are in week 1. You'll find out who you are real quick in week 2, and then you hope for week 3 you can just let it all hang out and let's go play football and let's show everybody that it's game on. But, yeah, they're going to find out right away. And, realistically, if you could somehow split these next 2 at home, you got a great chance to be in the hunt for the MIAA. I think it's, obviously tough tests early for a young team, but if they can find a way, I think it makes it for an exciting year. But, yeah, they're going to find out real quick, and they're going to have to play well. And that's the thing with these next 2. The margin for error, you can't have mistakes, and hopefully they can do a good job of eliminating those and be in the ball game and see what happens.
7 o'clock tomorrow night, Fort Hays State and Pittsburg State at Lewis Field Stadium. So did you have to pay more tolls? Because isn't that the Indian Nation's turnpike?
I think so, but the cool thing about Oklahoma now, the Pike Pass and the K-tags work, so you never know. I don't know what it was. I don't have to get quarters anymore. You just drive through, and they're all electronic. I mean, we probably paid $30 to drive that way, but it was a very scenic route. And with being close to Labor Day weekend, there were a lot of folks out by the river getting ready for the weekend, so it was neat. It was enjoyable.
Well, okay, good, because that's usually you get on that road and somebody's going like 45, and then you can't get around them. But that's
we kind of got caught behind the truck and trailer.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't too bad. They didn't go the whole way. They turned off halfway, so it made it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Now the walk to the press box, my arm from carrying the equipment and my right hip were sore for like 3 days. I'm back to normal today, but I could not think of why am I so sore, and then it dawned on me. That's right. I just climbed the mountain.
The biggest walk to the press box anywhere. I I'd do it by quarters. You know, I'd do the first quarter from halfway up, and then get up to the second half, and
It's not a bad plan.
yeah, it was
It's a
easy.
great view if you can get there.
It's a great view when you can get there, and especially when you go down Highway 10. Yeah, what a great. So that's now tradition. So you went down there and scored
I
56.
think we're going to,
so
well, exactly. We won, so we have to do it every year now.
I like it. Okay, Gerard, have a good call tomorrow night. It's going to be a blast. Pittsburgh State and the Tigers.
I appreciate it. It was good to be on with you, Steve.
All right, Gerard Walbrock joining us here on Sports Day, brought to you in part by Next Tech Wireless. Experience wireless built by Kansans for Kansas and by Advanced Therapy and Sports Medicine. Get your life back. Great Bend Panther Volleyball, Shelley Duvall in with Mike Corson on the prowl right after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
I had a young gal come in the other day who has been having chronic back pain. Did a session just helping her to understand her pain, not understanding her back, but teaching her how her nervous system works. And just that knowledge just calmed her down so much. She came back in this morning, huge smile on her face, and she was so excited to learn more. It was a blast.
Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Zach Stride, commercial lender for Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
At Next Tech Wireless, it's wireless on your terms. You pick a 36, 24, or 18-month agreement and get a device on us like the iPhone 14 or the new Google Pixel 7. Stuck in a contract with your current provider? Switch now and get up to $1,000 per line. For more details, stop by your nearest Next Tech Wireless location today or call or text our customer care team at 877-621-2600. Next Tech Wireless, home on the range.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by Panther coach Shelley Duvall and senior Sadie Spray with the volleyball team. How we doing?
It's a good day. Very good day.
Told you I was going to test your musical knowledge. Did you know it?
Okay, I know Midnight
Blue.
Yeah, I knew it. He tries to hide songs. It doesn't work.
Lou Graham, formerly a foreigner. All right, we've had you in. Obviously, there was a lot of excitement coming in this year about your volleyball team. Now 4-0.
Yes.
Living up to the hype. How's that feel for you?
It feels good so far. Ready to get started. It feels like this week is finally kind of our first week to play some games. I mean, last week, we had 2 matches, but this week we had last night and this Saturday for our tournament. So just finally starting to get into it.
Sadie, what for you? We haven't talked to you for a little bit, but a few games over 500 last year, so it wasn't a bad year. But you guys, your class in particular, so many seniors back this year. What have the expectations been for your class?
I mean, just like that big leadership role with how many of us we have, just leading it for all of those younger kids that we have on our varsity court. So.
And Coach, we know the WAC has been tough in the past, and you've beat all 4 of your teams in 2 sets now, and 3 of them have been WAC teams.
Yes.
Last week I made the comment that we don't know how strong those teams are, but whether or not you base your success off of their ability or not, how good are you guys winning all these in 2 sets?
You know, last night we had a little eye-opener against Dodge City. It's the first time in probably out of the 4 matches that we've ever trailed a team. Dodge took out on us. They have a big block. We knew going in that was going to be their strong suit, and they took advantage of it in the beginning. And so, again, as our fourth match coming in, we were finally behind a team, but this group still just continuously surprises me every time they fight. I mean, they just chipped back 1 point at a time, ended up taking that set 25-22, but the WAC is still no joke. I mean, it really isn't. The teams are good. We're just coming out on top.
Mm-hmm. And Sadie, what's it like? 4th match of the season. That's crazy. Usually a team will drop a set and still come back. Didn't even trail until the 4th match of the year. I know the seniors are experienced, but you've also got a freshman out there, some juniors that are stepping up. How neat to see the various girls respond to that adversity the first time.
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, we dug that hole a little bit, and we had that timeout, and we just huddled up and we're like, all right, guys, we got to lock in here. Like, we can't do this. Fourth game, we got to stay on top. So it was pretty cool seeing all of those underclassmen just like respond to what we were saying and react and come back and take that win.
Absolutely.
And if you remember, Sadie, last spring, we started an interview and you came running in late. Coach, you've got this thing going. It's kind of a neat feature on Facebook where you're kind of profiling the players.
Yes.
Sadie, what's the name of your documentary?
It's called Shoot, I'm Running Late Again, a documentary.
When I saw that, I was like, that actually applied to our show. It doesn't always happen.
Sadie's that way.
I was here on time.
She was here on time today, though.
So the freshman Kaya Bear comes in. You were the setter last year. Kaya's getting a lot of the assists this year. So talk about your transition and how you're playing this year.
So I still play 6 rotations. I play 3 in the back row as a passer and then 3 in the front row as a hitter. If we need to, we can switch to that hybrid 6-2 to where I stack up at any point in the game if we just need an extra attacker in that front row. It's a super good rotation we have going, and I'm super proud of Kaya for the way she stepped up this year as a freshman. And yeah.
Did you tell her to say that?
No, actually, I'm sitting here going, okay, Miss Sadie, but I do need
yeah.
to give Sadie some props. Beginning of the season, I mean, it's a hard role to fulfill to be a setter, and she's done that for us for the past couple of years, and things just kind of changed with Kaya coming in the rotation, and Sadie stepped aside and said, what do you want me to do? And I said, this is what I need from you. I need defense, and she kind of gave me that look like, oh, man, you're going to make me play back row, and it has been a complete change in Sadie's game for sure on her defensive side of the game. She finally has some confidence that she can do it because I wouldn't leave her back there if she couldn't.
And what does that mean for you? Setting, I think probably the ball's coming to you with the second hit every time. Defense, you're on your toes a lot more. What do you like more?
Honestly, I think I'm not as used to passing yet. I'm still getting into that comfortability of it. So, I mean, either one, wherever. I mean, I'm not really picky. I love setting, obviously, but that back row, it's a different experience, like reading that hitter and reading and where the ball's going to go and just like that different, it's just a different kind of deal,
Yeah. Her and Kaya work really well together, so our team just flows because of the two of them.
You kind of got coach talk going, so I'm going to ask you, and we've hit on this before, but it is so reactionary back there, but most of those passes are still really good. How do you do that? Positioning, hands, what is it?
I just don't think about it and
Yep.
just do it. I'm
Perfect.
not going to lie.
Yep. A lot of our girls have to function that way. Sometimes our team, we realized last night when we focus too hard, we don't play as well.
Yeah.
They need to just stay relaxed, get into the flow of their team, and trust each other, and they tend to play way better when that occurs.
All right, 4-0 record, and you're going to the Riley County, so you're going to see some smaller classification schools.
Yes.
Expectations Saturday.
We have a tough pool. We've got St. Mary's, Valley Center, and Wichita Independent. St. Mary's is always a powerhouse in those in the lower A classifications. We've got Jefferson County North, Clay Center. I mean, just because they're lower class classifications doesn't mean they're not good ball players. So we're going to be challenged this weekend, and I'm excited to see what we can do.
Sadie, is this another one? You guys get to stay the night?
No. Boo. We have to leave at 5:30 in the morning.
Still a nice bus ride up, especially early in the season, some new kids, new roles. Bonding experience for you guys?
Oh, we're so close already. I mean, I don't remember when was it, but the whole varsity squad came over to my house and we just ate food and hung out. It was a really good experience. We're all super close already. That drive up there is going to be a good bonding experience too. Just the tournaments and games together, practices, just all of it, we've gotten really close, and it's a super good thing to have.
What color were you? Navy blue?
What color was your party color?
Mine was lavender.
And what was your-
Lavender.
What kind of food?
What did you bring for lavender?
Oh, I brought Kool-Aid, like the Kool-Aid Jammer packets.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Nice. See, it's little things, Mike. This is what we do.
Don't let me forget that question all season. I'm curious.
Okay.
Senior Sadie Spray, Coach Shelley Duvall, good luck this weekend in Riley County.
Thank you so much.
More sports day after this.
Extend the life of your equipment with the best warranty program and risk management tool in the agriculture industry. The Cenex Total Protection Plan covers new and used equipment. Receive up to 10 years or 10,000 hours of engine coverage when you use Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster premium diesel fuel and synthetic lubricants. With no deductible, the Cenex Total Protection Plan provides unmatched coverage to give you the power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor, today.
Barton Community College helped me get a jump start on college with early college opportunities. With Barton's help, I earned my degree at the same time I graduated from high school. You can take classes on campus, online, and even at your high school with teachers you already know. With tuition rates starting at $50 per credit hour for select Kansas high school audiences and scholarship opportunities, it is easier than ever. Barton Community College helped me get one step closer to my dream, and it can help you too. Learn more at highschool.bartoncccc.edu.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Sports Day also brought to you by Eller Automotive Repair, a local mechanic that can help behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, and Equity Bank, adding value for our customers and communities. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoiston, and Lawrence. See the locations tab at equitybank.com for more locations. I was disturbed by this. Pittsburgh Stakes ranked number 3 in the Division II poll this week. Emporia State, number 18.
Nice little top 25 matchup coming up when they play Northwest Missouri State. I believe Northwest Missouri State comes in at 5.
So they play this week?
I believe so. If I remember correctly here, trying to think back, make sure I have my scheduling right. Northwest Missouri State versus Emporia this weekend.
So is it like USC where you're a big dog, you wore the jersey? If you go out there, do you get on the sideline for free?
You know, I haven't actually been to an ESU game since I took an early departure from the squad, so I'm not quite sure how it would be received back on the sideline by Coach Higgins.
But you gave your heart and soul to the
They were a little less
program.
They were a little less than thrilled when I chose to graduate early. I was in line. I was going to be a starting tackle that year, but my body and my mind were done. I needed to be.
You can't go to college to get an education.
Yeah, well, that's kind of still all the love in the world for ESU football. I just don't know if they'd be thrilled to have me back after departing in less than graceful time. I mean, I did graduate, which you can't say for everyone who plays college football.
No,
But
no, it's probably those 3 game jerseys and that helmet that you have in your office right now. Probably, they probably remember more than anything else. High school football rolling up on us real quick here on Friday. Western Athletic Conference goes a big one. Great Bend at Hayes, Junction City at Dodge City, Wichita North. What is their losing streak?
I think they got one last year.
Oh, did they? Because they've been pretty bad since at least
since Barry Sanders
in a rebuild
was
since I was in.
It's the Red Hawks now.
Yes, that is true. Emporia Liberal. Other interesting. I want to see how Pratt and Heston roll on Friday. That game's at Heston.
How legit Pratt is this year.
Yeah, same way, and find out where Heston's at on the Beloit at St. southeast of Saline. Central Plains. Can you jump all the way back that quick? Well, they're going to be at Maxville. I think that's going to be, I like these early season games because you obviously can't see everybody play. Yeah. And Victoria at La Crosse. So tomorrow on the show, Aaron Beck, Ian Premer, Connor Brock, and
Colton Brock.
Oh, Gary Wagner and Chewy Loera. Talk to you tomorrow here on Sports Day.